Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis. Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis. Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. I put that on my partner, I put that on my family. Oakland City represent, address me as your majesty. Yeah, you can kiss a ring, but you can never touch the crown. I smoke a million Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down. Bitch, you ain't no Barbie, I see you work at Arby's. Never too supersize, hurry up, I'm starving. Gnarly, radical, on the block I'm magical. See me at your college campus, baggy full of Adderalls. Call me if you need a fix, call me if you need a boost. See them other chicken heads, they don't ever leave the coop. I'm in the coupe cruising, I got the stolen plates, serving all the fiends over there by the Golden Gate. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis. Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis. Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. I put that on my partner, I put that on my family. Oakland City represent, address me as your majesty. Yeah, you can kiss a ring, but you can never touch the crown. I smoke a million Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down.
Do you agree that there's no such thing as racism, sexism, homophobism, Islamophobism, deadbeat dadism, white supremacism, and all the other isms? Destiny, that's a woman's name. You were raised by your daddy and mama. That makes you half man and half woman. You are a beta. You're not a real man, beta. I just have one question for ya, beta. There's just one thing I want to know. Destiny, do you love all people? Do you really love the black destiny? Do you love black people? Why can't you just answer the question, Destiny? Do you love all people?
Systems, the company store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Literal vampire pot and the goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
I said certified freak. 7 days a week. Wet ass P word. Make that pullout game weak. Yeah, you effin' with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. Give me everything you've got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up, N word, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P word is wet, come take a dive. And continue along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like, a lot more vulgar.
I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like sizing up? I'm gonna haul him up back chain. Chop his ass up, size it up. I'm gonna haul him up back chain. Chop, 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 chop. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast, and I'll tell them, well, I killed a cow out back, baby. You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna get my hands around your throat.
What rolls downstairs, a motor and pairs, rolls over your neighbor's dog? What's great for a snack and fits on your back? It's long, long, long. It's long, long. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's long, long. It's better than bad, it's good. Everyone wants a long. You're gonna love it long. Come on and get your long. Everyone needs
blammo.
It's another B-Word broadcast. Let's go! How's it going, chat? How are you doing? How you been? Can you believe it? Wowee! I am back in the grind set. That's right. Back to a daily stream every morning. That's right. We got ourselves some delicious coffee. I've been awake since 4 in the morning. Some crazy hour. How you doing? How you doing, Sensi? Ça va bien? We got a crazy show lined up for today. We're looking at the fallout from the Kanye West debacle, him revealing himself to be an anti-Semite, and conservatives struggling to handle, you know, like all this time they spent talking about how Kanye is going to be the next big conservative, and then he does the he does the oopsie. And then after that, we're getting into the Twitter files. That's right. A big dump of information from Matt Taibbi, a washed-up journalist who originally was like one of the best sources on dark money, really hard-hitting journalist, and now he's publishing on Twitter files that Elon Musk gave him. I don't know what's going on. It's going to be a bizarre thread. We're going to look into it. And last but not least, a documentary from just a few years ago about being poor in America, and yeah, we're gonna see what's going on there. I think it's fascinating to look at the richest country on the planet, you know, have a huge amount of people impoverished, struggling to get through, you know, from one day to the next. It is, holy cow, it is December 5th. It's a Monday, everybody. It's a I don't know what you're doing on your Monday. I hope you don't have to go to work, but I bet you do. And do the grind. Never a fun time. I'm basically off. I've got like one paper to do, and I'm free as a bird. I'm gonna party it up. I cannot wait. And yeah, the poetry slam was crazy good Saturday. I'm gonna have to fix the live stream. It looks like the live stream just doesn't work. In retrospect, maybe trying to get a live stream going up at a place called Le Basement was a bad idea. I don't think they got the internet connection I need for it to work at all. If you're on Twitter, that's the link. Juice it, tell your friends, retweet, like, all those things to blow up the channel. And yeah, we'll be getting into it. Top story of the day. What do we got here? I'm just gonna go check up on the jellies. The cute little jellyfish I got. And then, yeah, we're gonna go see the first story. Kanye is lost his mind, man, everybody. Kanye has become YEDOLF. And Bill Burr called it. He said if you listen to him, he sounds like Hitler. And sure enough. So let's take a look at that. We're gonna watch Ben Shapiro try to figure out a way to make this make sense for his conservative audience. It's gonna be very, very uncomfortable for everybody involved. All right, let's watch. He wants you to get help, everybody.
Is the obvious mental breakdown of one of the most famous people on earth, Kanye West, who now wishes to be known as Ye. What we've been watching here is obviously a manic episode from a person who has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I've been saying this since the very beginning. Several things can be true at once. One, Kanye West, he is a Jew hater. Pretty obviously, there is no way to avoid that conclusion. The stuff that he's been ranting and raving over the past several weeks demonstrates that he doesn't just hate specific Jews, he hates the Jews. The Jews are the problem, according to Kanye West. He has been spewing Der Stürmer, Nazi-esque anti-Semitism for weeks, and last night on Alex Jones's show, he made that perfectly clear. So, that is true. It is also true that Kanye West is a person with bipolar disorder, and this is a person in the middle of a manic episode, because there's no other way to explain his behavior. It's not performance art. It's not some sort of rational argument on behalf of hatred of Jews. He leaves that to Nick Fuentes. The fact is that Ye West is in the middle of a mental breakdown, and we are watching it on the world's most public stage. It is the most famous person to have a mental breakdown probably since Howard Hughes publicly.
And apparently Kanye West is going to be going on Aiden Ross's channel later. Might even be today. I'll see what the exact time is. And that should be interesting. And if you don't know, Aiden Ross is like a rather young streamer that's pretty big on Twitch. And he's done a lot of slots and gambling and has a much younger audience. But he's big, you know, he's very popular.
And that says something about how our media cover mental breakdowns. It says something about how American society treats madness. We seem to treat really outlying insanity as a form of rationality. And meanwhile, we treat kind of borderline normal behavior as mentally ill. So we tend to overdiagnose, for example, depression, anxiety, ADHD, right? Things that are sort of on the borderline of normalcy. We tend to overprescribe for those things. Those things exist. Some people need prescription medication for that, but we tend to overprescribe that. And we wildly underserve people who have serious mental disorders, ranging from bipolar disorder to schizophrenia. And we treat that as though it is normal behavior. And finally, while being mad, while being disturbed does not relieve you of responsibility for your Jew hatred, it does suggest that we ought to take the pronouncements of Ye West with a certain lack of seriousness, because this is a person in the middle of an episode. You know, there's no other way to play it. And honestly, I can despise what he is saying, because what he is saying is evil. And I can also recognize that this is a person who needs treatment, not a camera. This person needs treatment, not a set of lights in his face. And there are a lot of people out there who are making a lot of money off of Ye by putting him in front of a camera. There are a lot of people who are cynically utilizing this person's mental breakdown in order to facilitate their own career. And here I'm thinking specifically of Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos. There are a bunch of people around Ye who could be attempting to get him the treatment he obviously needs. And I'm not here to pathologize people's insane thoughts or evil thoughts. Again, he's sitting across from Nick Fuentes, who routinely engages in evil thoughts. Okay, but Nick Fuentes is not an insane person.
It's crazy that Nick Fuentes is being mainstreamed in this way.
Fuentes is not having a mental breakdown. He just thinks evil things. Ye West, after his display over the past week particularly, whatever you thought of him before, whether you thought that he was just an erratic personality who had decided to spew anti-Semitism, or whether you thought that he was perfectly rational, it is obvious over the course of the past several weeks that this is not the case and has not been the case for a while. Ranging from his tweet storm in which he talked about Chris Paul stooping his wife, to his defense of Balenciaga, to the actual appearance on Alex Jones. So we'll start this in order. The only reason I'm playing these clips is because it's important for people to recognize, because I'm seeing a lot of people who are denying that what we are seeing from Ye here is actual mental illness. It is mental illness. Hey, this is disturbed behavior.
Yeah, like I actually won't disagree with that. He probably shouldn't be going on to Alex Jones and saying absolutely insane things like that. Like there's got to be some sort of mental illness going on there.
Any doctor will tell you that this is disturbed behavior. First of all, I know psychologists who have spoken with Ye. He is obviously disturbed, but you don't have to be a doctor to know this. This is a disturbed human being, and you can see it last night when you are on a set with Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones. And those are the two rational guys in the room trying to pull you back from the brink, looking embarrassed by you standing for Hitler. At that point, you have to start wondering, is there a problem? I mean, your first indicator that there's a problem is when you stride into Alex Jones's studio. First of all, that in and of itself, not great. You stride into Alex Jones's studio wearing what appears to be an oversized baggy jacket and a full face covering black mask. When I say a mask, I don't mean like just face. It covers his entire head.
Yeah, so weird.
It looks like he's about to go rob a bank, except you can't even see his eyes.
So bizarre.
Yeah, Wes. I mean, he's
Zippers.
literally there with what looks like a
He had zippers for eyes.
black sock over his head. Apparently, it's a Balenciaga sock over his head, as we'll discuss in a moment. He actually defended Balenciaga yesterday. So for all those people on the right who are saying, well, you know, he's a good Christian who's just defending our honor. First of all, if this is your Christian lineup, right, if this is the best Western Christendom has to offer, is Ye last night, Alex Jones, and Nick Fuentes, Western Christendom is in serious, serious trouble.
There was actually like a 4chan post of all things of someone being like, I don't know, guys, I think we're on the losing side here. I'm not really liking who's on our team, who's saying the things I want him to say, and everyone thinks he's insane. I'm not feeling too hot about this whole white supremacy ideology anymore, everybody.
But this guy yesterday was defending the company that put out pedophilic ads. So there are a lot of problems. So he walks in and he sits down looking.
They were
like
not
this, for folks,
pedophilic.
again, who cannot see.
They were not pedophilic ads. They were like a bit risque, wearing like weird leather get-ups.
See, he is
kids.
sitting on the far left-hand side of the screen, and he is wearing a very oversized baggy jacket, and he is wearing a full-on black sock over his head. You cannot see his eyes, you cannot see his face, you cannot see anything about him except what looks like it's like an eraser head. And then you've got Alex Jones in the middle, and then you have Nick Fuentes on the end wearing some sort of blue hoodie sweatshirt. Okay, so here is here's Alex Jones with Ye West yesterday.
Well, that's right. You're not Hitler.
No.
You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew,
Bro.
I love everyone, and Jewish people are not going to tell me you can love,
No, please, bro.
you know, us,
No.
and you can love what we're doing.
The American History X footage is always so hard to watch.
You with the contracts, and you can love what we're pushing with the pornography. But this guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that I use as a musician.
No,
you
he
can't
didn't.
say out loud that this person ever did anything good, and I'm done with that. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table.
Man, even Jesus didn't have this kind of radical love. Come on, Kanye. Shut the fuck up.
Especially Hitler.
Shut up. Shut up.
Especially Hitler. Okay, now, coming out of a person who was not wearing a face covering mask, and who was not about to launch, sitting next to a copy of the Holy Bible, by the way. He's speaking just
Yeah.
as Jesus would here. Yeah, West. In the
He's got his
coming
he's
from
got his
a just
handy
normal
Bible.
anti-Semite, and there are some other people on the screen you could choose from. You would say that this is just pure rote anti-Semitism. But as I say, I don't think this is just pure rote, disgusting, craven anti-Semitism. It is, but I don't think that's the limit of it. As you can see, Alex Jones gets more and more uncomfortable here, and there is a certain
Alex
perverse
Jones.
hilarity to the fact that Alex Jones is the moderate on the panel, that Alex Jones is suddenly Larry King here. But here's Alex Jones again trying to walk Ye West
it is
back
kinda
from
funny.
the Hitler support, the open Hitler support, and
It's the kind of perverse hilarity that I go in for. That's basically my brand.
Ye just jumping in with both feet.
I like Hitler.
I don't like Hitler. And I know you're trying to be shocking with that.
I'm not trying to
I
be
know you're-
shocking. I like
I
Hitler.
know you're trying to be shocking. Alex Jones, man, had to say those words. It's wild.
I do not. The Holocaust is not what happened. Let's look at the
Nah, shut the fuck up. Holocaust happened. I hate this bullshit. Holocaust deniers are some of the dumbest people on the planet.
facts of that. And Hitler has a lot of redeeming qualities.
Insane.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Except that he's mad. Except there's a person in the middle of a mental break. And I say that, again, advisedly, because I'm not here to pathologize people's evil. In fact, I prefer for people to take responsibility for their evil. This person is in the middle of a mental breakdown. And it's not just from that clip or from his garb. It is from this clip. I mean, where he actively starts, he took out, the Prime Minister of Israel is a person named Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay, Bibi Netanyahu, as he is called, his
BB.
Ye brought to the studio a small Met and a bottle of Yoo-Hoo. And I'm not kidding you, like the chocolate milk, Yoo-Hoo.
It's chocolate milk?
And
Okay.
he started trotting them around the table while doing the supposed voice of Benjamin Netanyahu, who he accused of attempting to kill him. This
Oh, I
is
missed this
mad
part.
behavior.
I missed
This is
part.
mentally disturbed behavior. This is not something, if you saw a person on the street doing this, you would understand. This is a mentally disturbed person. If you saw this in the halls of a mental hospital, you would understand. This is a mentally disturbed person. You put him on TV, and suddenly we're supposed to treat it like celebrity behavior. We're supposed to treat every behavior by a celebrity as celebrity behavior. Up until the
Makes me think of like that clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene, like stalking a survivor of a school shooting, and she like recorded it and uploaded it. And if you saw that on the street, you know, someone stalking another human and like yelling wild conspiracies at them, it would make sense. Or if you saw it in a mental hospital where someone was stalking, you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But because they're a politician, all of a sudden,
point when they actually do something terrible to themselves. I mean, honestly, that's my great fear here for Ye West, is that if he is in the middle of a manic episode, the depression on the other side of the mania very often is coincident with the level of the mania. So if the mania is really high, the depression is really low. So I mean, I would not be surprised, God forbid, something should happen, that Ye should do something to himself, given his behavior. I mean, again, my grandfather was schizophrenic. I know what serious mental illness looks like. This is serious mental illness, and we are watching it. And people are treating it for a variety of reasons as though it is not mentally ill behavior. You have some people on the left treating it as though it's not mentally ill behavior so that they can link Ye West's despicable views on Jews with Donald Trump, and then Donald Trump by proxy to the entire Republic.
no, it's more like a lot of people on the left feel validated because for weeks they've been trying to tell conservatives to stop platforming this guy. It's not good for you and it's not good for him, and yet they continued. They kept bringing him on their show. Like Ye went on to Alex Jones after he left Tim Pool's show, and he left Tim Pool's show after like the slightest amount of pushback on his Jew hatred. Like, come on, there was like a string of performances where I got banned like a month ago because I just tried to watch him spew his anti-Semitism on YouTube. Like, this has been going for like a long time. So nobody's surprised it blew up in his face. And yeah, people on the left feel pretty validated. They're like, yeah, look, you guys can't do gatekeeping. You're not supposed to let these people on. What are you doing?
Republican Party. You have some people in the media who are treating it not that way because they wish to make money off the ratings. I feel bad even talking about this a little bit at this point, given the fact that this is a disturbed individual. But again, I keep saying he's a disturbed individual because I want people to understand, number one, that the words he is saying make no sense. And that's not an insult. They don't make any sense. They are nonsensical. And I also would love for people to understand, who are defending Ye West, that when you defend a person who's in the middle of a mental episode, you are not doing them any good. You are not adding value to the world. You're doing something quite cruel. And here's Ye West going mad on air. I mean, there's no other way to put this.
The ADL had a meeting 2 weeks ago and said, Alex Jones is an agent of evil. He should be taken off the air. He's the devil because he doesn't want you to take 4 shots. And I'm like, what are you doing calling me anti-Semitic? I'm not against groups. I don't get into group politics.
Adam, I've got the perfect answer for the ADL. They are going to have to listen up. What we did is we brought Netanyahu with us. Netanyahu.
Oh, God, no.
What do you have to say? What do you have to say to Alex Jones right now, Nick Fuentes and Ye? It was bad. It was bad for Trump to meet with Nick and Ye. Okay. I had no idea your voice is going to sound like that, Netanyahu.
This is wild. I mean, this is even Alex Jones on the air was calling this crazy, and Ye was like, who you calling crazy? And Alex Jones like, the whole world is crazy. The whole world's crazy. But what he really means is you are crazy. When Alex Jones is calling you crazy, obviously there is a problem. I mean, even Alex Jones.
The overturn window, like, is shattered at this point.
Throughout the interview, again, the rich irony of this is that Alex Jones has finally been embarrassed by another human being. He is an embarrassing human being all on his own, and he was embarrassed by another human being here, being Ye. And you can't.
The thing that's important to remember is that, like, this is all the left wing does not platform these types of insane, crazy people. That's kind of the whole criticism. Is like right wingers are not gatekeeping anymore. They're just letting the mental patients run the asylum.
Actually, see it on camera. Here's a little bit of that.
So you don't like Benjamin Netanyahu?
I just heard about this guy 2 weeks ago since like the tweet, and I thought he had a funny name. I heard he's like really into like he's like a super killer. I could die for saying this. So, in case this the last time you ever hear from me.
I'm glad you guys are here, and we can sit here and upset. All I'm telling you is, do you guys realize that the British government created Hitler? And the Milner Group put him in power, and there's something much more sophisticated. And I personally think that most Jews are great people, and I understand there's a Jewish mafia, and they're used to demonize anybody that promotes freedom. But I don't blame Jews in general.
Yikes.
Alex Jones trying to walk back Jew hatred there. I know the Jews made, and then the British created Hitler, but most Jews are. I mean, like Alex Jones trying to play the moderate man. Okay, so, again, Ye West is in the... I keep saying it over and over because I think that there are too many people out there who are pretending that it is not the case for a variety of reasons. Yesterday, Ye West tweeted out before being banned from Twitter, which we'll discuss in a moment, quote, I stand by Balenciaga and denounce all witch hunts, and I cancel culture. Jesus is king. Ending trafficking doesn't start or end with a fashion campaign, for Christ's sake. And then he tweeted again, featuring a picture of himself, never turn our backs, Demna and the Balenciaga family for life, cancel culture, Jesus, please heal. Alrighty, guys, the rest of the show is continuing right now. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be getting to California considering slavery reparations could...
So I think there's another piece to this. I think I have it in the background. Kanye posted, but like on Insta. So Kanye posted this, I think, yesterday. Am I the only one who thinks Elon could be half Chinese? Have you ever seen his pics as a child? What is this I'm reading? Take a Chinese genius and mate them with a South African supermodel. And we have an Elon. What is happening? I say an Elon because they probably made 10 to 30 Elons. And he's the first genetic hybrid that's stuck. Well, space. Let's not forget about Obama. What? I'm sorry for using curse words in church, but I don't have another word for Obama yet. EA24, let's unify and find out. LUAFO, is that supposed to be LMA? LMAFO, like LMFAO actually. Like, what the hell is LUAFO? Love us all fine. I don't. Oh man, yeah. I don't think Kanye is doing so hot, everybody. I think he's officially lost it. Okay, I think we're gonna get into the next section, which is the Twitter files. Matt Taibbi has posted what is supposed to be this incredible big bombshell, and I'm not really sure it is. So let's put on some background music. Let's find out what the hell is going on. Let's read the thread. I didn't have time for it earlier this week, and I don't know, maybe you did, but hopefully this is news for you. Matt Taibbi. And if you don't know who Matt Taibbi is, he used to be pretty big journalist, broke a lot of news on the Coctopus, which is the Koch brothers, like, sprawling empire before one of them died. And now Jane Meyer is carrying the torch for, like, investigative journalism on dark money. She has a really good book called Dark Money. And Matt Taibbi then worked for The Intercept, and I think he left and just, like, went to, doing his own Substack. He went independent. And I don't remember him publishing too many good stories at The Intercept, like maybe one or two. So let's read this. Should be good. Should be interesting, at the very least. Just let me bring up chat. Thread, the Twitter files. What you're about to read is the first installment in a series based upon thousands of internal documents obtained by sources at Twitter. The Twitter files tell an incredible story from inside one of the world's largest and most influential social media platforms. It is a Frankensteinian tale of a human-built mechanism grown out of the control of its designer. I don't think I approve the word Frankensteinian. Kind of a mouthful. Twitter, in its conception, was a brilliant tool for enabling instant mass communication, making a true real-time global conversation possible for the first time. In an early conception, Twitter more than lived up to its mission statement, giving people the power to create and share ideas and information instantly, without barriers. As time progressed, however, the company was slowly forced to add those barriers. Some of the first tools for controlling speech were designed to combat the likes of spam and financial fraudsters. Slowly, over time, Twitter staff and executives began to find more and more uses for these tools. Outsiders began petitioning the company to manipulate speech as well, first a little, then more often, then constantly. By 2020, requests from connected actors to delete tweets were routine. One executive would write to another, quote, "More to review from the Biden team." The reply would come back, "Handled." Saturday, October 2020. More to review from the Biden team. Thanks all. Handled these. Celebrities and unknowns alike could be removed or reviewed at the behest of a political party. I grabbed the first one under SI, defer to safety on the high profile second one, an additional report from DNC Twitter links. Alright. Both parties had access to these tools. For instance, in 2020, requests from both the Trump White House and the Biden campaign were received and honored. There's quite a difference there between the Trump White House, which is like the executive branch, and a campaign, a political campaign. All right. However, this system wasn't balanced. It was based on context. Because Twitter was and is overwhelmingly staffed by people of one political orientation, there were more channels, more ways to complain open to the left, well, Democrats, than the right. Contributions by party of recipient? Well, that says something different. This is how much money they paid, not necessarily how much contact they had. Very strange. And let's see here. Democrats gave more money. Whoa, only $450? The resulting slant in content moderation decisions is visible in the documents you're about to read. However, it's also the assessment of multiple current and former high-level executives. Okay, there was more throat clearing about the process, but screw it. Let's jump forward. The Twitter files, part 1. How and why Twitter blocked the Hunter Biden laptop story. It's about Hunter Biden, everybody. All right. Oh boy. Oh, what do we know about Hunter Biden? I've forgotten some of the lore. Any lore masters in the chat? On October 14th, 2020, the New York Post published Biden's secret emails, an expose based on the contents of Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop. And we know it's good reporting because it's the New York Post. You know, premier source of truth and reality. Smoking gun email reveals how Hunter Biden introduced Ukrainian businessmen to VP dad. Wow. Hunter Biden introduced his father, then President Joe Biden, to a top executive at a Ukrainian energy firm less than a year before the elder Biden pressured government officials in Ukraine into firing a prosecutor who was investigating the company. But if you know like the full backstory, I'm pretty sure this prosecutor was crooked or something, right? Like, it's not like a simple story you just read one side of it. You have to like go a bit deeper. The never before revealed meeting is mentioned in a message of appreciation that Vadim Poltsarsky, an advisor to the board of Burisma, allegedly sent Hunter Biden on April 17, 2015, about a year after Hunter joined the Burisma board at a reported salary of 50 grand a month. 50 grand a month. Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to DC and giving an opportunity to meet your father and spent some time together. It's realty, an honor and pleasure. As we spoke yesterday evening, would be great to meet today for a quick coffee. What do you think? I could come to you office somewhere around noon or so before or on my way to airport. Best V. iPhone. Oh wow, meeting for coffee, everybody. Oh geez, some real. The computer was dropped off. Oh wait, there's some funny shit about the computer. Stuff is so hard to follow. An earlier email from May 2014 also shows Pocharsky, reportedly Burisma's number 3 exec, asking Hunter for, quote, advice on how you could use your influence on the company's behalf. The blockbuster correspondence, which flies in the face of Joe Biden's claim that he's, quote, never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings, is contained in a massive trove of data recovered from a laptop computer. The computer was dropped off at a repair shop in Biden's home state of Delaware on April 29th, 2019, according to the store's owner. This is where I get confused. It was dropped off at a repair shop. Why is that person going through the emails? I just came across your emails while repairing your computer. That doesn't happen. That's a made-up thing. There is no reason. None of your lives are interesting enough to be sorting through your email while trying to do a job. It sounds like a horrible way to spend my time at work. Okay. So that's the original blockbuster story, everybody. Twitter took extraordinary steps to suppress the story, removing links and posting warnings that it may be unsafe. They even blocked its transmission via direct message, a tool hitherto reserved for extreme cases, i.e. child pornography. White House spokeswoman Kayleigh McEnany was locked out of her account for tweeting about the story, prompting a furious letter from Trump campaign staffer Mike Hahn, who seethed, quote, at least pretend to care for the next 20 days. Kayleigh McEnany has been locked out from her account for simply talking about the New York Post story. All she did was cite the story and first-hand reporting that has been reported by other outlets and not disputed by the Biden campaign. I need an answer immediately on how and when she will be unblocked. I also don't appreciate, Jesus, how nobody on this team called me regarding the news that you'll be censoring news articles. Like I said, at least pretend to care for the next 20 days. Okay, buddy. This led public policy executive Carolyn Strom to send out a polite WTF query. Several employees noted that there was tension between the comms policy teams, who had little and less control over moderation, and the safety trust teams. Hi team, are you able to take a closer look here? Thank you. Strom's note returned the answer that the laptop story had been removed for violation of the company's hacked materials policy. Thanks for reaching out to us. Per checking, the user was bounced by site integrity for violating our hacked materials policy. Adding them here for further insights and guidance. Elaine, ops escalation team or something. Although several sources recalled hearing about a general warning from federal law enforcement that some are about possible foreign hacks, there's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story. In fact, that might have been the problem. The decision was made at the highest levels of the company, but without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, with former head of legal, policy, and trust Vijaya Gadde playing a key role. Quote, they just freelanced it, is how one former employee characterized the decision. Quote, hacking was the excuse, but within a few hours, pretty much everyone realized that wasn't going to hold, but no one had the guts to reverse it, end quote. You can see the confusion in the following lengthy exchange, which ends up including Gadde and former Trust and Safety Chief Yoel Roth. Comms official Trent Kennedy writes, quote, I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for marking this as unsafe. Privileged and confidential, our teams continue to investigate the origins of the material included in the reporting. Trenton Kennedy. I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for marking this as unsafe, and I think the best explainability argument for this externally would be that we're waiting to understand if the story is the result of hacked materials. We'll face hard questions on this if we don't have some kind of solid reasoning for marking the link unsafe. From Katie Rosborough will we also mark similar stories as unsafe. FoxNews.com, Hunter Biden email. It's a link to a Hunter follow-up from Fox News. By this point, quote, everyone knew this was fucked, said one former employee, but the response was essentially to err on the side of continuing to err. This is where I fell off when I originally tried to read this. Got kind of bored. The policy basis is hacked materials, though as discussed, this is an emergent situation where the facts remain unclear. Given the severe risks here and lessons of 2016, we're erring on the side of including a warning and preventing this content from being amplified, from Yoel Roth. Vijaya responds, what is the warning that will come up? Yoel, when you click the link, you'll see the generic unsafe URL message, references spam, malware, and violation of the Twitter rules. Not ideal, but it's the only thing we have. Ian Plunkett, whatever we do in the comms, this will become a bias claim for Jack pre-hearing immediately. Let's make it clear we're proactively but cautiously interpreting this through the lens of our hacked materials policy and allowing the link with a warning and significant reduction of spread. Former VP of Global Comms Brandon Borman asked, can we truthfully claim that this is part of the policy? To Ian's point, can we truthfully claim that this is part of the policy, i.e. as part of our approach to addressing potentially hacked materials, we are limiting visibility of related stories on Twitter while our investigation is ongoing. So I guess they're like trying to fit a round peg into a square hole. And he's being like, can we do this? To which former Deputy General Counsel Jim Baker again seems to advise staying the non-course because caution is warranted. Jim Baker, I support the conclusion that we need more facts to assess whether the materials were hacked. At this stage, however, it is reasonable for us to assume that they may have been and that caution is warranted. There are some facts that indicate that the materials may have been hacked, while there are others indicating that the computer was either abandoned and or the owner consented to allow the repair shop to access it for at least some purposes. We simply need more information. That's the part where I get hung up on. A fundamental problem with tech companies in content moderation. Many people in charge of speech care little about speech and have to be told the basics by outsiders. To wit, in one humorous exchange on day one, Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna reaches out to Gadde to gently suggest she hop on the phone to talk about the backlash RE speech. Khanna was the only Democratic official I could find in the files who expressed concern. Generating huge backlash on Hill RE speech. Happy to chat if you're up for it. Best Ro. Gadde replies quickly, immediately diving into the weeds of Twitter policy, unaware Khanna is more worried about the Bill of Rights. Hi Congressman Khanna, thank you for reaching out and we appreciate the heads up. We put out a clarifying thread of tweets earlier this evening to explain our policy around the posting of private information and linking directly to hacked materials. The press secretary's account was not permanently suspended. We requested that she delete the tweet containing material that is in violation of our rules and her account is restricted until she complies. I'd be happy to jump on the phone if helpful. My team and DC are copied here and also available to discuss. I'm confused. It's their platform though, right? It's still, like, isn't that how the First Amendment works? It's a private company. They can modify speech as they feel. Khanna tries to reroute the conversation to the First Amendment, mention of which is generally hard to find in the files. Of course, First Amendment. Why would they be putting constitutional legal jargon into their... Are you insane? Hope you're well, Vijaya, but this seems a violation of the First Amendment principles. If there is a hack of classified information or other information that could expose a serious war crime, and the NYT was to publish it, I think the NYT should have that right. Well, they could do that. on their platform. They can't use someone else's platform to publish their story. A journalist should not be held accountable for the illegal actions of the source unless they actively aided the hack. So, to restrict the distribution of that material, especially regarding a presidential candidate, it was about Hunter Biden, seems not in the keeping of the principles of NYTV Sullivan. I say this as a total Biden partisan and convinced he didn't do anything wrong. But the story now has become more about censorship than relatively innocuous emails and has become a bigger deal than it would have been. It also is now leading to serious efforts to curtail Section 230, many of which would have been a mistake, and that's kind of like the legal framework that protects journalism online, or protects, like, I think journalism generally, Jesus. I believe, or like publishing online, I should say. I believe Twitter itself should curtail what it recommends or puts in trending news, and your policy against QAnon groups is all good. It's a hard balance. But in the heat of a presidential campaign, restricting dissemination of newspaper articles, even if NY Post is far right, seems like it will invite more backlash than it will do good. Please keep this communication between just us and Jack, and no need to CC the team or forward to them. Just wanted to offer my 2 cents. Within a day, head of public policy Lauren Culbertson receives a ghastly letter report from Carl Szabo of the research firm NetChoice, which had already polled 12 members of Congress, 9 R's and 3 Democrats, from the House Judiciary Committee to Representative Judy Chu's office. From Carl Szabo. Subject, recap of Hill convos about Biden and censorship. Lauren, yesterday NetChoice's Chris Marchese met informally with 9 Republican and 3 Democratic House staffers to gather intel about Facebook and Twitter and the New York Post story. The staffers hail from the House Judiciary Committee to Representative Judy Chu's office. NetChoice lets Twitter know a bloodbath awaits in upcoming Hill hearings, with members saying it's a tipping point, and complaining tech has, quote, grown so big they can't even regulate themselves, so government may need to intervene. High-level takeaway, every Republican said, quote, this is a tipping point, it's just too much, and both Democrats and the Republicans were angry. Szabo reports to Twitter that some Hill figures are characterizing the laptop story as tech's Access Hollywood moment. When asked just how bad the situation is, one staffer said, quote, it's tech's Access Hollywood moment, and it has no Hillary to hide behind, end quote. Others were more blunt. Quote, tech is screwed, and rightfully so. Oh no, a staffer thought so? No way! Oh golly gee, what? Oh geez, a staffer on the Hill had opinions. Jeez. Twitter files continued. Quote, the First Amendment isn't absolute. Szabo's letter contains chilling passages relaying Democratic lawmakers' attitudes. They want more moderation, and as for the Bill of Rights, it's not absolute. The Democrats, meanwhile, complain that the companies are inept. They let conservatives muddy the water and make the Biden campaign look corrupt, even though Biden is innocent. They link this to Hillary Clinton's email scandal. She did nothing wrong, but because the press wouldn't let the story go, it became a scandal far out of proportion. In their mind, social media is doing the same thing. It doesn't moderate enough harmful content, so when it does, like it did yesterday, it becomes a story. If the companies moderated more, conservatives wouldn't even think to use social media for disinformation, misinformation, or otherwise. The Democrats were in agreement. Social media needs to moderate more because they're corrupting democracy and making all truth relative. When pushed on how the government might insist on that, consistent with the First Amendment, they demurred. The First Amendment is an absolute. True. An amazing... Wait, is that it? An amazing subplot of the Twitter Hunter Biden laptop affair was how much was done without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, and how long it took for the situation to get unfucked, as one ex-employee put it, even after Dorsey jumped in. I'm confused. Is that it? Is there more? I'm a little confused. Is that it? I can't believe that's it. So Twitter got asked to take down some stuff? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not sure this is it. There's not much there. Nothing really shocking. We have definitive proof government colluded with big tech. This was the real attack on democracy. Well, no, shut the fuck up. Yeah, not the guys with clubs and guns going to the Capitol. Everyone wants to have sex with me. That's not what fuck Joe Biden means. Okay. The Twitter file. Look at this. The truth is out there. Elon Musk. Okay, this is I'm not really sure what the point of this is. This is a bad take. Yeah, okay, I have no idea why conservatives are in a tizzy over this. This isn't really that big of a deal. Kind of a nothing burger. Not gonna lie. Okay, so I guess we're gonna move on to our next section. Being poor in America, everybody. We also got a couple other funny bits of content I have lined up just as some palate cleansers. This is amazing. This is Aiden Ross finding out what fascism is, and I will never not laugh. This is the funniest thing I've seen in a very long time. And he's going to be interviewing Ye soon, so this is the guy interviewing Ye, not maybe this week or next week. This is awesome.
What does a fascist mean?
What does a fascist?
It means you are a far right authorization on ultra-analytic. Oh my God, ultra-analyst political ideology movement characterized by dictator leadership, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition. So I don't know what that means, bro. I swear to God, I don't know what the fuck a fascism is. I don't know what the fuck that is. Benito Mussolini and Giviante Gentile and Jason Stanley. Like, who the fuck are these people, bro? Never heard of my fucking life. What is an example of a fascist? Yo! Alright, bro. See what I'm saying, chat? Like, this is why I don't fuck with y'all, bro. Like, dude, like, this is what the fuck I don't... Bro, I don't fuck with y'all, bro. I do not fuck with you guys.
He finds out the fascist means Nazi. The Nazis are fascist? What? Oh God, I was never find that not funny. It's so good. Oh jeez, I just want to watch it again. Okay, this is a big story that's been going around. Excuse me. This is from the Associated Press. Some people are calling it like an act of like domestic terror. Shootings at power substations caused North Carolina outages. Very odd story. Let's take a closer look. Carthage, North Carolina. 2 power substations in a North Carolina county were damaged by gunfire in what is being investigated as a criminal act, causing damage that could take days to repair and leaving tens of thousands of people without electricity, authorities said Sunday. In response to ongoing outages, which began just after 7 p.m. Saturday across Moore County, officials announced a state of emergency that included a curfew from 9 p.m. Sunday to 5 a.m. Monday. Also, county schools will be closed Monday. Quote, an attack like this on critical infrastructure is a serious, intentional crime, and I expect state and federal authorities to thoroughly investigate and bring those responsible to justice, Governor Roy Cooper wrote on Twitter. Moore County Sheriff Ronnie Fields said at a Sunday news conference that authorities have not determined a motivation. He said someone pulled up and, quote, opened fire on the substation. The same thing with the other one. I didn't even know you could do that. You can, like, just fire off and drop a substation? Quote, no group has stepped up to acknowledge or accept that they're the ones that done it, Fields said, adding, we're looking at all avenues. The sheriff noted that the FBI was working with state investigators to determine who was responsible. He also said, quote, it was targeted. It wasn't random, Fields said. Fields said Fields said, yeah, oh jeez. Editor at the Associated Press. Fields said law enforcement is providing security at the substations and for businesses overnight. Quote, we will have folks out there tonight around the clock, he said. Roughly 36,000 electric customers in the county were without power on Sunday evening, according to poweroutage.us. Let's take a look. Okay, looks like, yeah. Over 10,000 out. Okay, there you go. Wow. Half of the county is out. 30,000 out. Oh, jeez. What's something, I'm gonna go help out someone who's sick. What's something that you'd want if you were sick and had a fever? Buckley's. With cold temperatures forecast for Sunday night, the county also opened a shelter at a sports complex in Carthage. Duke Energy spokesman Jeff Brooks said multiple pieces of equipment were damaged and will have to be replaced. He said while the company is trying to restore power as quickly as possible, he braced customers for the potential of outages lasting days. Quote, "We are looking at a pretty sophisticated repair with some fairly large equipment, and so we do want citizens of the town to be prepared that this will be a multi-day restoration for most customers, extending potentially as long as Thursday," Brooks said at a news conference. Dr. Tim Locklear, the county's school superintendent, announced classes will be canceled Monday. Quote, "As we move forward, we'll be taking it day by day in making those decisions," Locklear said. The Pilot newspaper in Southern Pines reported that one of its journalists saw a gate to one of the substations had been damaged and was lying in an access road. A pole holding up the gate had clearly been snapped off where it meets the ground. The substation's infrastructure was heavily damaged, the newspaper reported. The county of approximately 100,000 people lies about an hour's drive southwest of Raleigh and is known for golf resorts in Pinehurst and other communities. Pretty big story, actually. This is crazy. Very odd. Very, very, very odd. Why would somebody just go and do that? This was going viral in Canada. It's an odd story. Paralympian claims Canada offered to euthanize her when she asked for a stair lift. By Bevan Hurley. Sorry, say what? A Paralympian Army veteran told stunned lawmakers in Canada when she claimed that a government... Jesus, editors, come on. A Paralympian Army veteran stunned lawmakers in Canada when she claimed that a government official had offered to give her euthanasia. You wrote this wrong. I'm pretty sure you wrote that wrong. I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought so. They misspelled it. While fighting to have a wheelchair lift installed in her home. Retired Corporal Christine Gauthier, who competed at the 2016 Rio de Janeiro Paralympics, testified on Thursday that the unnamed Veterans Affairs caseworker had offered in writing to provide her with medically assisted dying device, the CBC reported. Are you for real? That's insane. No shot. A paraplegic former member of the Canadian shocked MPs. Oh my god, they like literally copied it word for word. Okay, so with respect to me, I have a letter in my file because I had to face that as well, said Gauthier, referring to the debate about veterans being offered the option of medical assistance in dying. Quote, "I have a letter saying that if you're so desperate, madam, we can offer you medical assistance in dying." That's insane, said Gauthier, who first injured her back in a training accident in 1989. Testifying in French, she said she has been fighting for her home wheelchair ramp for 5 years and expressed her concerns about the assisted dying offer in a recent letter to Trudeau. Quote, "I sent a letter to Prime Minister Trudeau and that they, the Veterans Affairs, offered me maid and would supply equipment." That's insane. Why? What the hell is that? Trudeau called it unacceptable, said the government took action the moment it heard of other cases. Quote, "We are following up with investigations and we are changing protocols to ensure what should seem obvious to all of us, that it is not the place of Veterans Affairs Canada, who were supposed to be there to support these people who stepped up to serve the country, to offer them medical assistance in dying." So this all this sounds like is just one dumbass at the Veterans Affair who's just like, "Oh, well, you know, if things are so hard for you, why don't you just leave? You're just causing me a problem." And now they have to create a policy that it's like, yeah, you can't tell people to die. You can't unalive people. You can't say that to people. It's not that big of a story. It's really funny though. I can't believe whoever did that is about to have the fury of the federal government come down on their sorry ass. It's awesome. It's really funny. Okay, TSA is gonna be scanning your face whether you like it or not. If you want to travel through America, get ready to give up your face. Meanwhile, Oxford says the word of the year is goblin mode. So maybe the TSA is going full goblin mode. Goblin mode, baby. The first Oxford word of the year to be chosen by public vote has been announced. It's a slang term describing, quote, unapologetically self-indulgent, lazy, slovenly, or greedy behavior. It's awesome. That's so stupid. Goblin mode. It prompted a campaign for its selection, with the PC Gamer magazine asking readers to, quote, put aside our petty differences and vote for Goblin Mode over Metaverse as the Oxford word of the year, because Goblin Mode rules. That's actually, I support that. Yeah, Metaverse can get fucked. Awesome. It's awesome. 2021, it was Vax. Oh, that's awful. Climate emergency. Oh, we've done nothing. A youth quake? Oh, that fell off. Post-truth, sure. Emoji, tears of joy? What? Some of these are really bad. Toxic, I get. Vax is terrible. Goblin mode is awesome. Actually, finally got it right for once. Good job, people. Okay, this was a massive story. I didn't know how much time I was going to spend on it, but it's very bizarre. We're going to take a look at it. The polygamous cult leader, everybody.
We are learning more about a suspected polygamous leader from northern Arizona. DPS pulled over 46-year-old Samuel Bateman in August on Highway 89 near Flagstaff. Deputies found several underage girls in a trailer that he was pulling. The FBI believes they were being trafficked across state lines. He's accused of having 20 wives, many of them underage, along with trying to apparently marry his own daughter. He is a self-proclaimed prophet of the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which
we
is
got a
not
prophet,
affiliated
everybody.
with the main church in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, do not autoplay. Don't autoplay. I can't. Can I not stop you? Okay, cool.
Well, here we are now.
It is.
So since you decided, and this morning the election results in Arizona will be made official.
But as we've said
Or
many
not.
times,
You're going to talk about the Arizona votes. Oh, jeez. Okay, all right, okay. So the FBI is accusing a 46-year-old Arizona alleged polygamous cult leader of having 20 wives, many of whom were underage. Oh no! Oh no! 9 years old. What the fuck? And of possibly marrying his own daughter. What is this? What am I reading? Can we make it? Can we just stop everything? End it. End it all. Okay. The wives were allegedly trafficked across state lines in a trailer, forced to use a bucket as a toilet, while the self-proclaimed prophet drove 2 Bentleys while pushing failed business ventures in real estate and goal coaching. Oh no, he's one of those. Samuel Rappy Lee. Oh my god, his name is Rappy Lee. Rapey Lee Bateman. Oh god. As well as his co-conspirators and aiders and abettors, is accused of engaging in the transportation of minors in interstate commerce to engage in criminal sexual activity and travel interstate commerce. What is happening in this sentence? Something's wrong with this sentence. Between May 2020 and November 2021, between Arizona, Utah, Nevada, and Nebraska, he was first indicted by a federal general grand jury on September 6th. The investigation revealed that on August 28, 2022, Bateman, with aiders and abettors, committed obstruction of justice by destroying records of their illegal actions, according to federal prosecutors. Oh, he's a Mormon! He's a self-proclaimed prophet of the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, a subset of the fundamentalist Mormon denominations whose members practice polygamy. No! He's a Mormon polygamist sex criminal. Put him away. Put him away. Put him in a prison cell. This is a bad man. He looks like a bad man. It was revealed that Bateman allegedly, quote, has approximately 50 followers and over 20 wives, many of whom are minors, mostly under the age of 15. According to an FBI affidavit included in a criminal complaint against 3 newly charged co-conspirators. Quote, Bateman allegedly has impressions of Heavenly Father's will to encourage his followers, including the minor children, to engage in sexual acts and relies on that submission to do his own will. The probable cause affidavit was filed in federal court on Friday by FBI agent Don A. Martin. Some of Bateman's wives were the wives or daughters of Bateman's male followers. So you gotta follow me and be in my cult. You gotta give me your wife. That's it. That's right, everybody. The price of entry for this Mormon church was my wife. My wife. This is messed up. Bateman is also accused of trying to take his own daughter as a wife. Normal things in normal country. Bateman, according to the affidavit, Martin spoke with a couple familiar with Bateman who were filming a documentary about the community. What? In about November or December 2020, Bateman drove to the couple's house in Colorado City, Arizona in a large SUV packed with women and girls, according to the affidavit. Bateman introduced everyone as his wives. The youngest of the girls was born in 2011, meaning she was, at the oldest, age 9. Bro. What the... Oh my word. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. That is messed up. They're all in the same weird clothes. And they got like modern devices. Man, what is a Mormon? The affidavit also describes video calls on which Bateman and everyone else on the call were reportedly naked and performed group sex acts. They were doing orgies in a so-called binding of brothers ritual. Okay. Bateman allegedly would often have sex with the wives of his male followers, often while other men, oh my god, and underage girls watch. That's fucked up. Put him away. Straight to jail. Straight to jail, please. Bateman, who has failed business ventures in real estate and goal coaching, had been attending mastermind conferences in Cancun, Mexico. The affidavit says Bateman drove 2 Bentleys at once. Meanwhile, his underage wives were reportedly transported in a trailer with a bucket and trash bag as a makeshift toilet. That's deeply messed up. That is inhumane. Fuck this guy. On November 1st, 2021, Bateman allegedly claimed the Heavenly Father told him to, quote, give the most precious thing he has, his girl's virtue, to 3 of his male followers in a group sex act, according to audio and video recordings cited in the affidavit. One of the girls involved was just 12 years old. It was a P-word ring. It was like actually just a ring. This is disgusting. Quote, the girls who were crying on the recording said they hurt because there was not darkness. Bateman said the girls have sacrificed their virtue for the Lord, the affidavit said. Bateman said God will fix their bodies and put the membrane back in their body. I've never had more confidence in doing his will. It's all out of love. Absolute insane behavior. The girls ended with, it's a privilege to hurt for someone else so they can rise. Oh, awful. Makes me want to throw up. In 2019, Bateman began to proclaim he was a prophet, translated from Warren Jeffs, whom Bateman and his followers often refer to as, quote, Uncle Warren. Jeffs was the former leader of the FLDS church. He was reported to have up to 78 wives, including minors. This is not okay. In 2006, Jeffs was on the FBI's 10 most wanted list for his flight from charges that he arranged illegal marriages between his adult male followers and underage girls in Utah. Jeffs was charged with multiple crimes involving the sexual assault of minors, in 3 states and is currently serving a life sentence for essaying some of his underage wives. Yeah, I think there's something wrong in Mormonism. Something's gone horribly, horribly wrong. What an awful story. Actually awful. Okay. It looks like the Supreme Court is weighing the most important case on democracy. They're probably going to throw democracy into the trash bin of history. Supreme Court is about to confront a new elections case, a Republican-led challenge, asking the justices for a novel ruling, which is putting it politely, that could significantly increase the power of state lawmakers over elections for Congress and the presidency. In other words, allow them to annul, the will of the people in their vote and just substitute their own. The court is set to hear arguments Wednesday in a case from North Carolina where Republican efforts to draw congressional districts heavily in their favor were blocked by a Democratic majority on the state Supreme Court because the GOP map violated the state constitution. A court-drawn map reduced 7 seats for each party in last month's midterm elections in highly competitive North Carolina. The question for the justice is whether the U.S. Constitution's provision giving state legislatures the power to make the rules about the times, places, and manners of congressional elections cuts state courts out of the process. We don't need judicial review. Quote, this is the single most important case on American democracy and for American democracy in the nation's history, said former federal judge Michael Luttig, a prominent conservative who has joined the legal team defending the North Carolina court decision. The Republican leaders of North Carolina's legislature told the Supreme Court that the Constitution's, quote, carefully drawn lines place the regulation of federal elections in the hands of state legislatures, Congress, and no one else. Yeah, it's just us, and we just happen to have power right now. Insane. God. Most legal scholars call the independent state legislature theory like cockamamie, like actually insane. So, fun. Some people are suggesting that power line thing that happened, the shooting, is somehow connected to all of these right-wingers showing up at drag time story time hour for kids, and they're showing up with guns. These are serious guns. They're just intimidating people. Okay, we're gonna get to the last story. We might not watch all of it. We'll see how interesting it is. It is poverty in America. I'm gonna see what it's like to be poor in the richest nation. It might get blocked on YouTube, so if it does, you'll have to come on over to Twitch, where the emotes are better. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what this is all about. It looked interesting. Yeah, it looks like I can't watch this on YouTube after all. Okay, I guess I'm not terribly interested. We'll pick this up again tomorrow. I think I'm gonna end stream, say goodbye, move on with my life, take care of stuff. I gotta go take care of a friend who's super sick, make her some chicken noodle soup. So yeah, I guess I will do a short stream today and pick it up tomorrow. Thanks so much to MupJub3Love for following. Oh no, it looks like my alert boxes aren't making audio. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I turned down all the whoops. Whoopsie daisy, I muted all of the alerts. Probably not a good idea. Let me just fix that real quick. I added in a new audio clip too, so that when people follow, it's going to be H Bomber Guy that says things are getting a little weirder in here, which is yeah, I think a pretty good idea. Let's see if it goes proper this time. No, it looks like it's the old audio. Okay, well, all right. I'll figure it out one day. I'll see you later. I'll be back here tomorrow morning at 9. Y'all have a lovely day. See ya. Bye.